Hey everyone. Okay, we good? We good? I'm taking over my son's room, obviously. About maybe another week or so, and then we'll go back to our normal background. I'm just gonna start getting into it, guys, because I know it's gonna take a little time for people to come in and join the chat, so no problem. They'll catch it on the stream when it uploads. So guys, welcome to Intuitive Vibes Narc Survival 101. I am your host, Erica. I'm out of breath because I had to go and run. Actually, that's kind of why I'm late. I had to go and run and grab some chicken for my son. So when I got home from work, I had to run and grab some chicken. Hi, Groove Factor. Thank you for joining. I'm out of breath, guys. And I'm letting my other phone charge. So I'm going to try to read the comments on the phone until the phone fully charges. Okay. And take a second to breathe. Okay. So guys, welcome to Intuitive Vibes, Narc Survival 101. Your girl Erica here. If you're new to the channel, stick around. You might hear something that you need to know, maybe pertaining to something that's going on in your life. And of course, to all of my returning subscribers, welcome back. Is that chicken that good? For my son, yes, I had to run because he was hungry and he didn't want homemade chicken. He wanted fried chicken from those fried chicken spots. So I had to go and get him some fried chicken. And of course, what he wants, he gets. So, but he's good now. He's in his corner playing his video games and I'm here taking over his room. I know he's kind of tired of me. So guys, it has been a very, very, very hectic weekend for me, and of course with work it's just been so much that these past few lives I actually have not been able to really do any notes or anything like that like I had been doing. I will probably start doing that next week, so we're kind of, you know, just kept on schedule and of course on course. We got a snowstorm coming too this week, so a lot has been going on. A lot has been going on over this on this end. But I'm here, so let's do this. Now, last week's live, we talked about a lot of different things. Quite a few different things, actually, pertaining to narcissism and narcissists. And lately, I have been doing these, you know, short videos for you guys. Just kind of giving you little tiny reminders and giving you little tiny words of wisdom, I guess you can say, just to kind of keep you guys informed and of course to keep you guys on the course, because you know I don't want anybody, I mean, not to say I don't want anybody, but it's important that you guys stay the course and you continue to go in the direction that you're going in. Okay, especially with the holidays coming up, because guys, the holidays for a narcissist is either discard season or Hoover season. So you have to be very, very, very careful. All right, especially if they're running out of supply or if they're just, you know, in a place where they're not happy. They're never happy anyway. But if they're in a very low place, they are, you know, not really getting enough supply throughout the holiday season. Of course, the main thing that they're going to probably try to do is, of course, hoover you back in. It's very common for them. All right, so be very careful, guys. I might do a season edition, you know, like I did for Thanksgiving. I might do one for Christmas, you know, because I know the holidays can be a really tough time, you know, especially for everybody who, you know, who's going through the motions. And of course, I don't know what stage you guys are in. So if you're in the beginning stages, if you were recently discarded, or if you recently broke up with someone, and or if Adrena, girl, I'm so blind and I'm waiting for my phone to charge. Hi, sweetheart, welcome. Thank you for joining. But if you know, if even if it's with family members, if you had a falling out with family members and you find yourself being alone, you know, not like alone, but alone, just know that you're not alone, and know that, you know, there are things going on that, you know, you probably don't really understand, you know, especially for first timers. Oh, no problem, sweetheart. You know, for first timers, it's, you know, it might be, it might be a very, very hard thing to take in. You know, it can be a really hard thing to take in. I remember the first holiday that I had to spend after the discard, and it was definitely hard. Okay. And I had, you know, explained this on the Thanksgiving special, that after a discard, after going through the emotional roller coaster, especially, you know, like coming close to the holidays, it's hard. It's extremely hard because you've become so complacent. You became so used to being in a dynamic with someone. You have become so accustomed to not only being around them, but being around their family and doing, you know, doing certain things with them and their family, that when the discard came, you know, you found yourself in a very saddened, a very heart and gut wrenching position, and you really don't know what the hell's going on. All right. Well, that's what the short videos are for, because though you have spent time with the person can be a narcissist, the person can be extremely narcissistic. So if oh yeah, Adrena. I mean, it's you know, if the person was in fact a narcissist, I want you to understand something. Everybody had motives, and everybody had a certain role that they played. So if you're a first timer and this is your like initial stages of a discard, go through my recent videos, because it kind of gives you the gist of things. And when I talk about, for example, the family members of a narcissist, in one of the videos I did explain that they don't care about you. Truth was, they never really did. You know, they were appeasing you at that time. So just know that they were only doing what they were what they would normally do with anyone that was in your position. They were only doing it because, of course, everybody has a role to play, and everybody has, hey, for justice, thanks for coming, hun. Everybody has a role to play, and of course, everybody has to be on cue. So unfortunately, while you're sitting there thinking, well, you know, there are certain oddities about the family, and there are certain things about the family that kind of pokes out at you, but you really didn't want to like tip the boat over. You really didn't want to say anything because you weren't too sure. Yeah, those oddities that you've seen were things slipping through the cracks. So if you know for a fact that you were with a narcissist or someone who is extremely narcissistic, their family more or less is on that same boat. All right. And like I told you guys, they learned it somewhere. They learned it from an environment, a group of people. It could have been a person, you know, anybody that they were raised around. Now, understand that, again, I'm talking with people who were going through the initial the initial discard, like first timers. You guys who've already gone through it and are in different phases of your healing, you already know the deal. You know how it all goes. You guys know how it all went down for you. Trust me, I know how it went down for me. Adrena, the female narc I had, the counterfeit friendship with, her mom. I really need my phone. I need my other phone because I am so damn blind. I'm gonna have my face in the camera like that. Oh wait, guys, it's on. It's on. It's on. It's on. Give me 1 second, guys. This is just like, I am so like, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting blind. Of course, I've already been blind, so forgive me, guys. I thought I'd be a little bit more prepared, but wait a minute. Nope. Okay. Wait, I'm almost there, guys. I'm like, my sight is just so bad. Okay. Adrena, the female narc I had the counterfeit friendship with, her mom is a bona fide narcissist. Yeah. Chances are, if you have been involved with or been around a female narcissist, chances are her mother is a narcissist. Okay? And you have different types of female narcissists. We've gone over this too, guys. You have the somatic female narcissist, you have the cerebral female narcissist, you have the malignant female narcissist, which is the worst of the kind. The somatic one is the very superficial, very high maintenance smart narcissist. The cerebral is the brainiac, the one who swears that she's smarter than everybody, and you know, she has like, degrees up the ass, and then you have the malignant narcissist, who is the devious one. She's the one who is like, by any means necessary, like, I'll hurt you in any way, shape, or form, and will not give a damn, who I hurt in the process. And of course, they all have a key goal, which is to get what they want out of people and to kind of, I wouldn't even say kind of, it's to be, yeah, Star Wars does rule. Next week, we're going back to my regular. Hi, Jamie. Welcome, sweetheart. We're going back to my regular background. But they can be, and like I told you guys, female narcissists are extremely, they're deviants. They are. And it's sad because I'm a female. I'm a woman, and I can truly sit here and say they're a lot worse than men. Female narcissists can get away with so much more than men can. And not to knock you men down, because you guys already know I don't knock any of you men, but female narcissists, they know how to be covert. They know how to be very, inconspicuous, undetectable. They know how to do these things. And that's why, like, a lot of the time I notice on social media, when men put up posts about being in hurtful relationships or, being hurt by a woman, and it's like the most devastating thing for them. Well, that's because females can utilize manipulation a lot better than men. And I'm not saying that as an insult to you guys, but the facts are the facts. They know how to run with the narratives of being the soft, sensitive, weak, weak gender. So if they can run with it and still manage to hurt you, still manage to do some sneaky, conniving stuff, my son's in the corner, sneaky, conniving stuff behind your back, they can get away with anything, okay? They really can. And of course, female sociopaths, I mean, chances of you guys running across a female sociopath may be kind of slim, but there's still that chance. There's still that chance that you will run across someone who is a sociopath. You have to be very, very careful. That's most of the time, that's the reason why I do a lot of videos. When I do my videos, I do it on female narcissists because, again, narcissism is talked about, but female narcissism is not always talked about. It's not always, people tend to think that when it boils down to females, and it's crazy, when it boils down to females, some people say, well, she's detached and she's like this and she's like that because she's been through a lot of crap and she's learned not to, not to open up to a man or become emotionally, available to a man. So it's kind of like thinking like a man. No, being a female narcissist and thinking like a man are not the same thing. Okay? They're not the same thing. These female narcissists will give you the impression that they, in their actions, they'll give you the impression that, what, you can't handle me, you can't handle the kind of woman I am. I mean, this is who I am. They will actually flip everything around and just kind of make it seem like you're being a, for lack of a better word, bitch. And it's sad because a lot of men take that in. Okay? And guys, listen, I'm not oblivious to it. Men get abused too. Men get abused too in relationships. I am not oblivious to that. And considering the fact that I have a son, I actually have to open my eyes more to it because I have to be on the lookout when it comes to my son and he starts dating and he wants to start going out with these girls. And I've seen how these girls are nowadays. They get abused. Hold on one second. Groove factor. Has any of them female narcissistic call you a traitor? Always wanted to ask you that. They have not. They have not called me a traitor, but I do know for a fact that they throw that dark, nasty energy at me. They like, I know for a fact that people of this, female narcissists or sociopaths, you know, who they will never admit that they're narcissists, guys. They'll never admit that, okay? But when I describe certain behaviors, when I describe certain things about these types of females, of course, it would resonate with them because these are the types of behaviors that they perform when it comes down to, you know, you guys, or in some cases, you girls, because, you know, it can go either way. No one has called me out on it, I guess you can say. And the reason being, I speak the truth, you know? Let's be realistic. If I was lying, then yeah. I mean, listen, I give credit where it's due. So if a female, in this case, if a female feels some kind of way about it, if a female decides, well, I'm going to say something to you and I'm going to message you, honey, the most they're going to do is hit the dislike button. They're not going to open their mouths. They're not. And quite frankly, reason being is because I've educated myself enough to the point to seriously damage their ego if they do. So if there are any female narcissists that want to challenge me on it, I mean, go right ahead, you know. I have no problem bullying the bully. I really don't, you know. So a negative by a negative will always equate to a positive. So if that's what they want to do, I'm for it. I'm up for a debate. I love to debate, especially when I know what the hell I'm talking about. So, but no, they haven't called me a traitor. And none of them will call me a traitor because they don't have the balls to do it. They have the balls to sit there and abuse people covertly. Because if you look at it, if you got to be covert about your shit, you got to sit there and be like, I got to pose as something in public and I got to pose as this kind of person in front of everybody else. But behind the scenes, I have to act. Oh yeah, groove. Absolutely. I don't have a problem. Let me tell you something, okay? I don't when it you've already seen a lot of my content and you've seen what kind of person I am. You see what kind of person I am. And I've always stuck true to my authenticity. You know, I stuck true to myself. And at the end of the day, I was codependent, but that never changed the fact that I have empathy, you know, I have severe empathy for people. I have consideration. And, you know, I am not the type of person that if you need something, well, what are you going to do for me if I give you this? No, if I have it, I'll give it to you. You know, if I can help you with it, I'll help you with it. And I don't ask for anything in return. And some people find it hard to believe because they'll sit there and be like, oh, you do X, Y, and Z and you don't want anything in return. I mean, you need the favor, right? So if you need the damn favor, ask it, and that's it. You know, so, but these types of females look at you like, well, I do this and that and blah, blah, blah. And they won't tell you right then and there, but they will throw it in your face. They will throw it in your face, the things that they have, you know, they have done for you in making you feel guilty or trying to instill that kind of guilt to make you do something for them. Jamie, hey, so I remember a while back you offered your email for advice. I had never got it back then, but but is really like to run my story by you. Is that possible? Need an opinion? Yeah, Jamie, it's my email. It's in the, if you go to the last live, because I always put the email in all of my lives. So if you go to the last one, or even my last video, the email's listed at the bottom. You can, but it's intuitive.vibes1111@gmail.com. But it's in all of the description boxes of all of my videos. But men do get abused by this behavior of, after this long-term relationship, getting the information out, it's what's important. Some guys consider a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I personally have never heard of anything like this, and you guys have carried me through it. I'm glad we were able to do that. So I can head. What am I doing? So I can educate myself on how to heal, keep it moving. Educate myself, talk, text sucks. Okay, yes, you're welcome, Jamie. But yeah, definitely send me that email. And Butch, yes, you know something, it's like I told you guys in the other video, this, you know, narcissist smear campaign versus survivor testimony. Your testimony is not a smear campaign. People may try to convince you, and those are people who are feeling salty about the situation. They may try to convince you that it is. They might try to tell you, oh, and it could be anybody. It could be anybody on the outskirts. Oh, well, why are you putting your business out there? And why are you saying this and that about this person? Blah, blah, blah. When people decide to try to attack you for opening up your mouth and speaking your story and saying what happened, what actually happened, those are people who've already been manipulated. Those are people that are, just basically like they've the narcissist, or even the narcissists, plural. It could be family members, it could be friends, it could be anyone. When people try to come at you and try to say, oh, well, how dare you talk about that person that way, and how could you just sit there and put all this out there and talk about they abused you and they did all, when they're trying to attack you like on behalf, they've already been manipulated. They've already been manipulated to believe that you were the bitter one. You're the one with the problem. You are the one who was the jealous one, the insecure one, the controlling one. You were basically, posed as the narcissist, and the narcissist was posed as the victim. So if people try to come to you and tell you, I don't really think it's a good idea that you should be saying this and that. I don't really think that it's a good idea that you should be butting your nose into my business. How about that? Okay? Speaking your truth, telling your testimony, there is nothing wrong with it. Group factor. Is there an early warning sign that you observed of both gender and narcissists that almost onto the science? Prior to my learning about narcissism or afterwards? Because we see a lot of signs and we see a lot of red flags. But of course, if we don't really learn narcissism, I relax. Welcome, honey. If we don't really know about narcissism, it's like everything was right in your face. But since you really didn't know what it consisted of, you wouldn't have known, like, what it all meant. But like, what do you mean, Groove? Like before I learned about the whole thing, or afterwards? Because after. Okay. Any early warning sign that you observed? You know what? Yes. And amazingly enough, I've observed, for example, the different types of and I don't want to say narcissist, but you know what? I think when it boiled down to learning red flags, period, I observed in, being single for over 2 years. And when you ever realize, like, when you get to a point, you've been single for a long time, and you say to yourself, okay, maybe I might want to try to communicate and see where I stand. See what can happen, but I'm not putting my eggs in one basket, and I'm not going to push myself out there completely. You start to see, like, after going through your experience and of course going through your healing, you start to see everything, like everything that you saw before, but you kind of ignored it. You start to see it now with everybody. It's like everybody's a red flag. Everybody's a red flag. But when it boils down to like female narcissists, I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but what I've learned about female narcissists, of course, you guys already know the charm. They're extremely charming. They're extremely charming people. They are like, the beginning, what do you guys call it in the beginning stages? You call it the honeymoon stage, right? They call it the love bombing stage, okay? We have like two alternate sides. You have the victim and then you have the perp. So the victim is looking at it as, this is the honeymoon stage. The perp is, this is the love bombing stage. And in that stage, when you get to know someone, you guys are talking, it starts off kind of, gradually. You're talking, you let's bring it back for a second. You guys are attracted to each other. And then, okay, I'm not going crazy then because I see it so clear. No, Groove, you're not. You're not, because everything you went through now, let's just say, well, we'll get back to that in a second, but everything you went through, you start to look at everything differently now. Because going through, it's like going through death and then rebirth, if that makes sense. You went through a certain type of death, okay? Everybody, listen, you've probably experienced more than one narcissist in your life. And there was just one in particular that was the main catalyst for you. That was just like, that snapped you the hell out of it. Whichever one that may be, okay? So if you have, had narcissists in your life, let's say, your mom or your dad or whomever were narcissists, but it was something that you grew up with. And then throughout your life, you were dating different types of people. You may have attracted quite a few narcissists. You may have done it, but you were consistently attracting when they say you're consistently attracting the same type of people, you were consistently attracting narcissists because, I don't know, maybe the lesson just hadn't been learned. Maybe it had not been learned. And you're continuously going through different relationships with different people. You're continuously ignoring red flags. You're continuously just, sitting there trying to be optimistic, because that's how we are. We try to be optimistic, right? We try to sit there and say, you know what? I'm not going to treat you like the last person, You give them the benefit of the doubt. You try to be open about love. You try to be open about, having a relationship, even though you probably went through hell with the last person. You just try to stay optimistic about it. You don't try to make them pay for what someone else in your past did to you. Sometimes you're going to continuously go through the same cycle until you've learned your lesson. In my case, I continuously went through the same cycle because I needed to break my codependency. Okay? And every relationship I had, I noticed that I was clingy. I was just kind of like, don't leave me, don't leave me. And yeah, Groove, you try to be optimistic because you try to give people a chance. You try to give people a chance to prove to you that they're not all the same, right? And you try to say to yourself, okay, this last girl put me through crap, but I'm going to give you a chance. And this turns out to be the same kind of female. And then you go through the motions, and then you maybe get involved with someone else. And then you tell that one, this last one and the one before her put me through crap, but I'm going to try to give you a chance. You try to give chances. But I honestly believe that going through those same cycles is kind of like God's way of saying, I need you to wake the hell up. I need you to wake up. When you are attracting these types of females, you are, and I explained this to you guys in one of my videos about a female narcissist. You are either a codependent person, okay, which is nothing wrong, nothing to be ashamed of if you are a codependent individual. You are a codependent person who is just, you're just inherently attracted to females that represent someone who has been in your life. So like, for example, maybe your mom wasn't a narcissist, but maybe she was just avoidant. She was avoidant attachment. Maybe she just emotionally avoidant. You're probably going to attract a lot of females that are emotionally avoidant, or you're a non-narcissist. You're a non-narcissist. Hi, Alicia. Welcome, sweetheart. Alicia, I think I put you as, I see the little the little wrench next to your name. I think I meant to respond to you, but I think I put you as a moderator. If you want to stay and you want to do it, then I'm perfectly fine with it. If not, then I could just take it off. It's not a big deal. But yeah, either you are codependent and you are attracting people that represent the parental figure in your life that had been emotionally avoidant with you, and that's why you keep attracting these types of females. Awesome, honey. Awesome. I'm glad you're able to do it. Thank you. Or you're non-codependent and you just, you are coincidentally attracting these kinds of females because, I don't know, maybe, you have low self-esteem. These types of females can tell if a man has low self-esteem. All right. I told you guys this before too. A woman knows. The minute you walk through the door, she could pick up on your energy. She already knows. She already knows what she wants. She already knows what she can do with you. She already knows what she can do for you. She already knows what intentions she has with you. Okay. And believe it or not, guys, women with intentions don't necessarily have to be bad. Okay. Women with motives, however, totally different. Okay. Because I have intentions. In my last relationship, my intention, because you know what they say, set your intentions, right? Not your motives, your intentions. My intentions were to get to know this person. They get to know me. And we see we can share something together, have a relationship together. You know, I did have intentions. I intended on showing this person what kind of person I was, how I can fulfill this relationship, what I'd be willing to do to fulfill this relationship, because I did care, because I did love them. Those were my intentions. Female narcissist has motives. Groove, I never stayed single long. I bet they smelled my wound. Oh, yeah. Bro. When you are codependent, it's just kind of like that, because you're anxiety filled, and it's just like you just feel that constant need to kind of want to be validated. So of course you just feel like you need to, you know, have the company and just the, you know, the closeness with someone. You just want that. You just want that closeness, and you want that. But women can pick these things up, especially if you're forthcoming in the beginning. So if they make you feel comfortable, they make you feel really, really comfortable to the point where you feel like you could talk to them, you can talk to them about anything. When you're dealing with female narcissists, manipulators, narcissistic females, or sociopaths, I have to specify, because not every female is a narcissist, but it doesn't mean that they're not a manipulator either. When you're dealing with these types of females, and you're telling them, you know, you're opening up. You're telling them, well, you know, I went through a really traumatic experience. I went through a bad breakup with someone else. Let me tell you something. I'll let you guys in on a little something. When a man asks me, what are you looking for in a man? What are you looking for in a man? What do you want in a man? You know what my answer is? I'm not telling you what I'm looking for in a man. If I could tolerate your ass, then we're good. And if I can't, then you go your way, I go mine. That's it. Okay? You don't feed them. You don't feed people information, especially in the beginning stages. I don't care how comfortable they make you feel. You don't feed them that kind of information, because they will utilize what they've learned. Remember what I told you guys, narcissists learn you. They study you. They learn different things. They learn how to maneuver around you. They're snakes. Okay, and what does a snake do? A snake can maneuver. They can, you know, they can get through cracks and crevices. They can do all of that. So when you reveal things to them, thinking, I feel like this person is comfortable, you know, makes me comfortable. If you tell them what you want, they'll pretend to be that. Of course, for justice, of course. That's why I don't tell them anything. I don't tell them anything. When they say, oh, you know, Erica, what are you looking for in a man? We'll see. We'll see. Because who knows? You might surprise me, you know? Maybe what I wasn't looking for, you might surprise me with something and I didn't realize, oh, hey, listen, I could live with that. I could deal with this. I prefer to say, you know, can I tolerate you? If I can tolerate you, then fine. You know, it's not about, you know, oh, what are you looking for? I hate when people ask that question. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? I'm looking to wake up tomorrow. Like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to, you know, live a healthy life and you know, have another day with my kid. That's what I'm looking for. But when they ask you, what are you looking for in a man? Or what are you looking for in a woman? I normally advise people not to say anything. Don't tell them what you're looking for. You know what you want. You know what you're looking for. And if you fill them in, of course, they're going to manage to maneuver around you. Yeah, they'll play that role. Absolutely. They'll manage to maneuver around your wants and your desires when you can really see the person for who they are by you being yourself and let them be themselves. It's okay to answer questions. It's okay to get to know each other's likes, know each other's dislikes. I think this is part of why dating is so hard for people and so confusing, because it's like nowadays you just don't know who to trust. You're like, I don't even know if I can trust you, bro. I don't even know if I can trust, because I thought I could trust the last person I was with. I thought I could trust that person with personal information. I thought I could trust them with my heart. I thought I could trust them with everything. And they've managed to show me certain things that just really put my back to the wall. Like, I literally have, guys, I got my back to the wall with people. Like, my back isn't turned to people. My back is to the wall with them. And going through this experience, it really makes you very, very just like, you don't want to date. You don't want to do anything with anybody. You don't want to get involved. Somebody asks you for your number. I'm like, this one guy tried to stop me. I was going shopping. I don't like people, like, it's my own thing. I don't like people like approaching me on the streets. I don't like it. It just makes me uncomfortable for some reason. And it puts pressure. It puts pressure. So guys, if you approach females on the street, just understand something. All right. I'm not saying not to do it, but I personally have always been the type that I prefer to date, like do online dating, because I get to know someone where I can talk to them and not have the pressure of giving them my number right then and there, or like, you know, come on. No. I don't like it. That's just me. I don't like it. Groove. Yep. I'd be like, why you want my, yeah, no, I don't. It's just like, when they come up to you and they be like, yeah, so how you doing? That I'm like, okay, they compliment me, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm a very humble person, guys. I'm not the kind of person like, yeah, I know I look good. No, I don't do that. I'm like, thank you very much, I appreciate it. But I just don't like the idea of being approached in the street and or like when they pull up in their cars and they're like, hey, let me holler. No, are you serious? Walk like a streetwalker to you? I just don't like it. So I've always been the type to like, maybe do it online because I get to talk to someone. And then when I feel comfortable enough, then, okay, you don't seem like a complete psycho. All right, let's, we'll exchange numbers. But not right then and there within 10 minutes and you're asking me, can I get your number? This one guy asked me for my number and I was like, I got Instagram, Well, I can't. No, you can't have my number. I don't feel comfortable giving my number out. And they're like, well, his answer to it was, well, if I text you, if I call you, if I say something you don't like, you could just block me. Oh yeah, because they don't make texting apps where you can text me from like 500 different fake numbers, right? No, I changed my number the last time for a very particular reason. So I'm very particular as to who I give my number to. And but I told him no. I was like, no, if you want the Instagram, you can get it, but that's it. It's not. And it was what it was. Needless to say, I'm not, you guys already know. You guys already know my business. I think you guys know my business more than I know my business. I'm not dating anybody. I have literally no interest in dating anyone, because the whole healing thing, you heal from the narcissistic abuse, but you got to also remember, guys, that you got to heal from your trauma, your own trauma. The narc abuse was hard. It was tough for you, but you have your own bit of trauma that you got to go through. Now you got to deal with because when you deal with a narcissist, it's like opening up Pandora's box, and it's bringing up old trauma, old wounds. After my narc abuse, I find it difficult to take compliments. Anybody else? You want to know something, Lisa? I'm going to tell you something. I've been okay with compliments because, something, you're beautiful. And that's something that you can, there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I hate attention. I grew up in narcissism. Something, For me, I don't like praise. Like, I don't get me wrong. Like, listen, I think in a way, guys, we like attention, but it's from the person that we want it from. That's what it is. It's from whomever it is, whether it be a specific person or a couple of people, but it would have to be from someone that you want it from. What's love got to do? Relax over here singing now, huh? Yeah, but I think it just really is the matter of you want, which is nothing wrong with it, guys. Let me explain to you right now. You wanting attention and liking attention, there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now, narcissists go above and beyond for attention. You understand? So if you are getting attention, that's because you're being yourself. You're being your authentic self. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I know that dealing with a narcissist makes you feel like you want to be a recluse. Like, yo, I don't even want people around me. I don't even want to know. Just stay away from me. Keep it low. You don't have to do that. You don't. Okay? They go through extreme measures to get attention. But you're getting attention all on your own. I mean, hey. You don't have to go through what they're going through to get what it is that they, what they're craving to get from other people. I just don't like praise. I don't mind attention. I don't mind it at all. But I don't like it to the point where it's like praise or worship, like kind of like that, like, oh my God, Erica, like when people call me, and listen, I don't mind when people call me, when people say, because I say it to men, but I say it to true men that I know represent what a king represents, okay? I call a man king. My brother calls me queen, okay? He calls me queen because he is not calling me a queen in the sense of, oh, I'm royalty and I'm this and that. No. He calls me queen because of the principle that I stand on. A queen, okay, who's beside her king, but hey, she could do it on her own, right, ladies? It's because she stands on principle. What makes a true queen is not looking good. It's not, walking around wearing a crown on your head, okay? Because if I were a queen, I'd be in the kitchen helping to help. That's just the kind of person I am. That's why my brother calls me that, because he knows you do for others. You contribute. You are selfless. That's what makes you a queen. You're selfless. You help others. You want to see others, succeed in life. You want to see people happy. You want to be happy, but you want to see everybody, so you eat, I eat, you eat. That's pretty much what it means to me. Yes, it is. It's about character. That's what it is. But nobility, thank you. Thank you, Groove. I like that word too. Nobility, okay? That's what it is. That's what makes a true queen. And that's what makes a true king too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what makes a true king too. But you got these females. Should I be worried if I'm seeing my ex way more often now? Sitting places I frequent in town. Well, let me ask you something. Do they have any business being in those areas? I mean, because I'm going to tell you something, okay? I know it's for justice, right? My phone battery died again. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, my goodness. It depends. Oh my gosh. Yanni's awakening. God bless you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. But yeah, if you are seeing your ex like around, the reason I'm asking is if they have any business being there, because I had told you guys before that, which I'm like, listen, I don't want my ex getting the impression that I'm trying to be all up. Excuse me, I'm trying to be all up in his business or whatever, or, be all up in his space. But, I had explained to you guys, I think in a couple of lives ago, that I live nearby. I literally live 5 minutes away from my ex. And I'm constantly in that area because I have to walk through there in order to go to work. But at the same time, you know, I look at it as, why should I, you know, why should I be in fear? Like, because I avoided going in that area as much as I possibly could for fear of being triggered, you know, for fear of just like, just having those like bad feelings, you know, like when, you know, when you're healing and you're in a good space, you're in a good place. And then, you know, you just don't want anything tampering with that. And I had managed to avoid going in that area for quite some time. But it's kind of like, you know, when you are on our end of the spectrum and on our side of the door, you being in the area where your ex often frequents or your ex lives, and it's not because you're doing it purposely. Naturally they're going to try to look at it as, oh well, you know, you're coming around here, you know, looking for me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was something that I was trying to avoid because I really didn't want that. But I got tired of feeling that way. I got tired of, like, you know, like, shit, you see me, you see me. You know, it is what it is. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say about it. You know, if you see me, you avoiding me, hey, cool. Make yourself scarce because this is my neighborhood too. And I'm not going to the other side of Queens just to go shopping. Yes, she does. But normally I never see her. Last 2 days, I have seen her maybe 30 times. I gotta keep this daggone phone. I mean, if she has business being in that area, being around there, you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it, guys. When you are in areas or your ex is in an area where you are, if they have reason for being out there and it's not because, particularly because of you, I leave on store, then follow and park in another to close the store. But you're saying that you've seen her in the area. And I mean, again, yeah, if they have a reason, it's all about if they have like legitimate reason for being within the area, within, you know, within, I mean, because if where you work is like highly populated, like, you know, you got a lot of foot traffic, you got a lot of traffic in and out, shoppers and so forth and so on, it's common. It is common. But if we're talking like by your home, you know, like that's like when they're like in your area where your home is. I mean, if your home is not where the shopping areas are and you live like in a residential area that it's like nothing but houses, she ain't got no business being out there, or he. Because for justice, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. Let me know. Andrea, welcome, sweetheart. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, sweetheart. I didn't even ask. But if your ex is coming around your home, if your ex is coming around your home and they have no business being in that area, we know that narcissists like to they like to stalk. One, they like to monitor you. They like to watch you. They like to watch the things you're doing. They like to know who you're dealing with. They like to know who you're talking to. They like to know what's going on in your life. Okay? Reason being, that was something that I wanted to bring up to you guys. But for justice, please let me know. Hold on one second, guys. I got the phone back on. So my old blind behind can actually start seeing your messages again. Okay. Why do I keep saying for justice? I'm sorry, Jamie. You see, you guys understand what I'm saying now? You see what I'm saying right now? I'm blind, guys. I'm blind. I'm calling him for justice, and it's Jamie. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm so sorry. Yes, she does, but normally I never see her. Last 2 days, I have seen her maybe 30. Wait, I was wondering if I was reading that right. You've seen her maybe 30 times sitting in weird places or parking lots in the last 2 days, really? Sitting places where I frequent in town, but yet avoids me. I go to a different store and they are nearby. It's kind of freaky. 30 times? 30, like 30. Oh, okay. That, yeah, 30, in 2 days, 30 times in 2 days. Well, what is she doing? Is she just like sitting down in one spot, getting up, then going to another spot, then getting up and going to another spot? It's like, yeah, I would, yeah, I mean, listen, because we when it boils to that, she's obviously trying to get your attention. Clearly, it's 30 times in 2 days. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how that goes. Like, if you work in that area, and like, what, you go outside and you see her, and yeah, I mean, it's just sounds like a story. Yeah, they are narcissists can be, they can be stalkers. They definitely can. I mean, they monitor your social media. They monitor your you know, they can be lurking around your house. They can be lurking around your job. They like to watch everything that you do, because sometimes, well, narcs like to be a step ahead, because they want to, especially if they want to maybe do a Hoover, or if they want to try to figure out a way to re-enter, and they need to figure out how to do so. Yanni is awakening. I have a stalker looking at my social media under a different name. Laugh out loud. They think we don't know. I've had someone create a fake account and message me on my Instagram, pretending to be a victim of abuse. Yeah, but also online, there's some real creeps out there. Yeah, there are. So just be discerning with that, guys. But I've had on my Instagram, I've had people message me from fake accounts. I've had people message me on Facebook. Hi Heather, welcome, sweetheart. I've had people message me on my Facebook. The thing is that for me, it's kind of hard, because you're trying to tell the difference between someone who might be, playing off as someone else because they're trying to get information out of you, or someone who's actually a victim. And I try hard to like be very discerning, because I don't want to be like, tell someone, go off, and they're actually someone who follows me. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to I try so hard not to cross that line. So I pay close attention, and of course the person who did message me was not very subtle in the way they text, they wrote, and the way they spoke. So I knew it was a fake account trying to get information out of me. And I took it upon myself to just say it like it is, because I don't hide from anybody. I don't need to hide from anybody. So it's really nothing. But Jamie, yeah, I would strongly say, just be careful with it. I mean, I if it were me, I probably would have confronted. I mean, that's me. I'm not telling you to do that. But if you see her again, and it's more often, then I mean, simply, you can walk up to her and be like, yo, what's up? You know, why are you here? Or why are you hanging around? Yeah, I mean, it just was good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jamie, I don't know where you're from, but how we do it in New York was good. Like, there a problem? We had a situation going on. I mean, why are you here? Why am I seeing you 30 times in 2 days? That's usually an indication that they have intention on hoovering, or trying to, or again, they just want to be nosy. They want to stalk you. They want to watch you, and they're trying to play it off. And this is a female too, so you know she might be trying to do it to get a reaction out of you. Maybe she wants your attention. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jamie, if you do decide to do it, you don't have to, but you can just ask. You don't have to be, see, a lot of people tend to think that and I think that's one of the reasons why narcissists are kind of like on that defense, in that sense, where they're like afraid of, you know, everything they did. It's like they're afraid of what you might say to them. You know, they're afraid of like, you know, well, if I try to approach you or if I try to say something to you, you know, you might chew my head off. You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised at how much you've evolved, that you look at them like, yo, you're not even worth it, man. You're really not worth it. You're not worth me stooping so low to be angry and just, you know, and I went through those phases already. You know, you could be cordial with her and just say, yo, what's up? You know, you don't have to be like, you know, chit chatty, you know, and talking all kinds of, you know, like giving each other your life stories and stuff. No, you just be like, what's up? What's good? Why are you, you know, is there something that you need out here? Because, and of course, you know, and naturally, I mean, I don't know this chick, but honestly, if she's anything like I can imagine, she's probably gonna be like, well, you know, what, I have to have a reason to be out here? I mean, you know how they are. You don't own the block. You don't own the area, you know. It's like, and it's just a matter of, you know, if it makes you uncomfortable, you can confront her. You know, you can, you know, say what's on your mind, speak your piece about it. And you know, if she gets stupid, then obviously you got your answer. You know, it's clear cut that people like that, just, they got issues, dude. They got issues. Like I there's just no other way to really describe it. No contact, no contact. They want a reaction. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, no contact is fine. You know, you can ignore. You can ignore. That's another way of doing it. But if it makes you feel uncomfortable, there's a difference between feeling uncomfortable and feeling hurt about a situation. You know? Yeah, well, you know something? Kill them with kindness. Kill them with kindness. That's the way I see it. I kill them with kindness. I don't, you know, they want you to, if you know clear as day it's bait, you know clear as day what it is she's trying to do, you kill her with kindness. That's it. You know, you don't have to go backwards. You don't have to go and be like, you know, hey, so yeah, you know that I know. Nah. Good day, ma'am. Good day, sir. Keep it moving. That's the way I see it. And they'll look at you. You know, one of the things that narcissists really expect of you, they expect you to be enraged. They expect you to be like angry. They just like, they expect you to be all kinds of stuff. But when you actually turn around and you're like, have a great day. Have a great life. In fact, have a life. You know, that's one thing I would say you guys to say. May God give you the life that you deserve. That's it. That's it. I no longer say have a good day or have a good life or wish you well. I wish you the life that God feels you deserve. Now it's up to you to decide what kind of life you're going to have. Or mace them. Stop following me. Amanda, really? Really? Gonna be macing people. I didn't give that. Amanda did. I do not advise macing anyone because number one, mace is illegal, and number two, you can go to jail for assault, so I'm not advising that. Now, if they get stupid or if they, you know, try to put their hands on you, that's a different story. But yeah, Jamie, just, you know, I mean, a lot of the time it's just pretty much they want a reaction out of you. They want any kind of reaction, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. Yeah, relax. It is self-defense, but it's only self-defense if they're attacking you. Okay? If they are attacking you, yes. But if they're not attacking you, do not pull out the mace. Do not pull out the brass knuckles. Okay? Don't do it, guys. Do not do it. All right? You guys have come so far in your evolution. The last thing you need to do is go to jail for beating the crap out of your ex. Okay? And then possibly say, well, Erica told me to do it, and then I'm all up in there and I didn't tell him to do anything. I did not tell him to hit them. Didn't tell him to do anything. But guys, They want that kind of reaction from you. A narcissist wants any kind of reaction, whether it's a positive one, whether it's a negative one. They want a reaction out of you. You know, in some cases, if you can't avoid them, I mean, listen, at the end, yeah, of course, Andrea, it's wanting that attention. It's one of they want the reaction. Listen, they wanted your reaction and attention when they discarded you. Even though they pushed you away, believe it or not. They wanted that because they were pushing you away for their new supply, but yet they were getting a supply from you as you kept trying to come in. So the more, because the problem we have is as human beings is that when people resist, like resistance, we can't, I don't know if it's like something biologically embedded in us, but when it boils down to resistance, or when it no taser, really, Groove? No taser. No tasers, no nunchucks, no brass knuckles, no mace, none of that. Okay? None of that. Don't do any of that. Do not have me coming to bail you out of jail. Don't want to do that. But they were getting all of this during that discard. They were getting all of this during that discard. So, you know, when you were going through the motions, you're going through the pain and you're pining for them and you're trying to, you know, you're trying to grasp at them. You're trying to keep them. You're trying to show them. You're like, listen, why won't you listen? I'm the perfect one for you. Meantime, they're like mushing you. You ever seen those like movies when they're mushing someone? You know, like they're mushing you and they're like, no, I want this. This is more fulfilling for me. This attention and this ego stroke is more fulfilling for me. You are boring. You're stale. You're just, you know, nah, you can't fulfill me anymore. It is what it is. Get over it. That's what they were giving you. Jamie, I'd never do anything like that. And I don't worry about physical abuse from her. I worry about what else she's could be capable of. She just makes me think danger for some reason. Always be on guard, honey. Always be on guard. Don't ever close your eyes when it comes to a female. All right? And that's for all of you guys. Don't ever close your eyes when it comes to a female. I told you, they're covert. All right? And they give off that, oh, I'm a sweet, innocent demeanor and everything. Listen, I still walk around with a little something on me because I don't play that shit. I don't. I really don't. I never know if a chick wants to jump out of a bush. Who knows? You never know. I'm pretty sure I pissed off a few females. Don't give a shit about it, but at the end of the day, I still got to protect myself, right? Just saying. Yanni's Awakening, a love story from hell. When an empath falls in love with a narcissist, because it's inevitable, Yanni, it's inevitable. Because an empath wants to fix the world. They go with their feelings and they want to fix everybody and they want to save people. They don't want to see people unhappy. They don't want to see people hurting. And they take on that pain, they take on that energy as their own responsibility. So they want to heal that person. They want to heal the narcissist. They want to show the narcissist, and they become a sacrificial lamb. Because at the end of the day, listen, the devil was casted out of heaven and he's down here. You can't heal a narcissist. You can't. And if a narcissist can really like play a therapist, because I'm gonna be honest with you, they can get away with shit when it comes to therapy. So if a narcissist was to be like, oh, I went to therapy, yeah, you know what? You probably manipulated the therapist too. You probably manipulated the therapist to have that therapist thinking that you are healed and, you know, you're not cured, but you're a changed person. And I just don't trust it. I don't. And it's you know, it's a trust thing. Narc or not, it's a trust thing. When you do something to violate someone's trust, that's the key thing we got to focus on, guys. Listen, I don't care if they were a narcissist. I don't care if they were a sociopath, psychopath, narcissistic. I don't care if they were a freaking... Listen, I don't care if they were Sebastian from Under the Fucking Sea and Little Mermaid. When you do something to violate my trust, when you give me reason to say to you and myself, I cannot trust you. My back is to the wall with you. I don't give a damn what or who you are. I don't care. Violation of trust is violation of trust. That's it. Now, some people forgive, and that's great. I forgive, but I don't forget. And I think that the problem is with a lot of us, when we, when I tell people, think about the discard. I don't mean think about the discard and stay in that mindset. I'm saying think about the discard and how it made you feel, to kind of give yourself a reality check, because they're going to try different ways. They're going to try different ways to get in. They're going to try different ways to lure you back in one way or another. I've explained this to you guys before too. You were prime supply, okay? They may have had hundreds of other people that may have been supply for them, but you were prime supply. Groove factor. I know a narcissist that has a PhD in psychology. Yes. If you remember, oh my gosh, which video did I do? I think it was a letter to the narcissist, or it was one of the two, from a ex-codependent. You have therapists, you have psychologists, you have psychotherapists, psychiatrists. You have people in the medical field that are narcissists. They are narcissists, guys. And these are the type of people that will tell you, well, you really shouldn't judge a book by, go fuck yourself. That's my opinion, okay? Don't tell me I shouldn't judge this book, okay? Because I read this book. You didn't. I read this book. I didn't go through the table of contents. I wasn't being superficial about anything. I wasn't just skimming through. I read this book word for word. So anybody who tries to tell you, give the narcissist another try, maybe they've changed, give them another chance. Oh, you know what? Well, listen, you got to understand they were, abused. What? Wrong is wrong. I don't give a damn. So because you have mommy and daddy issues, you treat me like shit. You go and you put me through the ringer, and I have to sit here and be like, okay, I have to not only eat it, but I have to now be considerate to the fact that you've gone through your problems, but yet you decided not to get help for it. You decided that it's not you, it's me. You decided that, well, this is just who I am. There's nothing wrong with me. Because what? Because it seemed normal to you when I was trying to be the normal one in the entire equation, trying to show you this is a problem, this is toxic, this is not healthy, but you went and flipped it around onto me, making me appear to be the toxic one, and everybody else who was toxic around you were really the toxic. You can give a narcissist another chance if you want to, but I'm going to tell you right now, you do that and it's going to be 10 times worse. It's going to be 10, especially since you're educating yourself on it, especially since you're opening your mouth about it, especially since you're standing up for yourself. You go ahead and they tell you, oh, I've changed. Things have gotten better. I love you. I realize that you're worth it. Oh, yes, guys, you're worth me changing. You're worth it. Andrea, I used to tell my ex-narc, get over it. Oh, no, they'll never get over it. They'll never get over it. Okay? I mean, a narcissist is pretty much, it ends when I say it ends. That's how they look at it. It ends when they say it ends. It does not end when you say it ends. And again, like I tell you guys, be very careful. I've been, listen, I don't, and again, and 110%, I'm telling you guys right now, and I told you guys before, I don't know for sure if mine was, but he had severe narcissistic tendencies. And that's enough for me. That is enough for me. I do believe he was a codependent narc. I believe he was an inverted with overt tendencies. But I do believe he was inverted. Or just the opposite. My ex-narc said the therapist didn't know what they were talking about, but yet she had a piece of paper hanging on the wall that had her name on it. The therapist's name. But you know what? You just have to, I tell people, I tell people all the time, keywords will stick out. Keywords will stick out to you. They stick out like sore thumbs. Okay? If it does not make sense, chances are they're just like, they're just telling you things to make you feel like they are smart. Like cerebral narcissists are probably the type of narcissists that would be therapists or psychiatrists. Okay? Cerebral, because they utilize the mind. They're the type of people that have, the whole, what is it? The whole the English language like down packed. Like using big words. Extremely big words. Half the time they don't even know what the words mean, but because it sounds good, they use them. Okay? They're probably more prone to being therapists. And of course, a narcissist being a therapist, which it brings me to this point because Yanni brought up a good question. Why do narcissists study in these types of fields? I wonder. To use their manipulative powers to experiment on those of the weak mind. Yes, I said in my video, I said a narcissist with the ability to use a tool to scramble your brain or fill your head up with things, and they basically, because psychology is a tool, it's a very very strong tool. It gets into people's minds, and if done properly, you can actually convince someone to do certain things. You can convince someone to, to act out on certain things. You can literally brainwash someone. And the narcissist having excuse me, I don't know why I got the hiccups. The narcissist having a degree in psychology or a degree in, in these fields is a very, very dangerous combination. Okay? Very dangerous combination, because you being the victim, you being, the survivor, going to therapy, you're trusting them. You're trusting them with personal information. You're trusting them with things that have gone on in your life. And if your therapist, I'm not saying that they are, but if your therapist is a narcissist, they can really damage you probably more than what the narcissist in your relationship did. A narcissist having that kind of power, oh, no, 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 no. That's like the devil having the power of God. That's like the devil having the power of God. Okay? It's bad. Let's put it that way. To Lori, oh, welcome, sweetheart. I'm glad you made it. Welcome, guys. Give to Lori a good welcome. Maybe he was not a narc, just a fucked up dude. Relaxed. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that. I wish I could. I really wish I could. I wish I could say that. And again, that's why I did not I said, that's what I think. I'm not going to sit here and say he is and then, go and be like, oh, well, he is this, he is that, because I can't diagnose him. This is what I believe. If he was a fucked up dude, then hey, regardless, I was a good person to him. I was a very kind person to him. And in the end, the way I was treated was very horrible. I was treated horribly. I was talked to disgusting, like just beyond disgusting. And everything that went on, clearly narcissistic. So even if he wasn't a narcissist, guys, this isn't just for narcissists. This is for people who have dealt with people who are narcissistic too. Okay? Whether you dealt with someone with NPD or you were dealing with someone who was extremely narcissistic, just because the person isn't diagnosed with NPD does not mean that they're not narcissistic, and it does not mean that they're incapable of hurting you the way a full-blown narcissist would hurt you. Does not mean any of that. Okay? Listen, if mine wasn't, oh well, then he's not. We'll go with that. Then he's not. So because if my ex was not a narcissist, that does not mean that I'm not going to talk to you about narcissism. And it does not mean that I'm not going to bring up the shit that I went through. Because I'm going to tell you guys, I done been through some shit too. Okay? I've been through it too. Trust me. I've been through it too. Okay, you guys are getting acquainted. Love that. But at the end of the day, you know, the dynamic itself was, it just, come on. It's not coincidental. Like, looking back at everything, it was not coincidental. And the gaslighting happened. The silent treatment happened. The narcissistic rage happened. The the discard happened. And at the end of the day, even if he is not a narcissist, then, you know, I have a hair here, guys. I know that's kind of personal, but I need to pull this sucker out. I've been dying to pull it out all day. But I'm getting away from the topic. It all happened. And even if he isn't a narcissist, he's damn near close to it. Because what I had went through was just so traumatic for me. Like, oh, it's my battery. It was so traumatic for me that I had to get therapy and I had to go through healing for it. I had to. Okay, I was going through the withdrawals. If you're familiar with the withdrawals, that's when you're getting the shakes in the middle of the night. Your body is pumping, like you can't breathe. Your mind is like not computing. Your brain is not computing it. It's not computing what happened. The silent treatment where it's, you don't hear from them for days, but then they're breadcrumbing you and they're like throwing you little messages here and there, and then you don't hear from them again, and then all of a sudden out of the blue they're showing up at your house. Okay? And then when they do all kinds of stuff online and you go and you tell them, you know, damn, how are you gonna be like this? Like, how can you do stuff like this? You know this is hurting me, and what do you get? What do you get in return? You get the, you know, F you and that, and they just curse you out. It's like, yo, you don't even recognize the person you're talking to. Okay? You don't get any of that. You know, you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, how could you, how could you act like this? Okay? Or when you're trying to message them and you're trying to talk to them because they've been giving you breadcrumbs and you're thinking maybe they want to try to, maybe they want to try to make it work, right? No, baby, those breadcrumbs were just to keep you stuck. So no, I don't know if my ex was a narcissist, but he damn sure came close to one. I went through it, guys. I know the feeling. Trust me, I know the feeling. I know that feeling of crying every night. I know that feeling of feeling like you're going insane because you're like, yo, I know what I saw, but they're telling you, you don't know what the hell you saw. You're making things up in your head. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? How could you do this? Well, what the hell? Why are you looking through my stuff? Why are you looking through this? And you just like don't recognize the person that just told you not that long ago that they were in love with you, that they love you. Maybe he was a fucked up person, or maybe he was a narcissist. But at the end of the day, what I know, just like what you guys know, we didn't deserve any of that. Peaceful American, right. I now must admit to having had narcissistic tendencies, hopefully not now. Breadcrumbing, nice. She never verbally put me on blast. She had plenty of people who gratefully put me on blast. Codependents have empathy, narcissists do not. You know what? For justice, you're right. But the problem when it comes to narcissists, we are all born with empathy. We're all born with it. Okay? So just so we understand, it's not that one person is born with empathy and another person is not. We're all born naturally empathetic. But a narcissist has been deprogrammed when it came to their empathy, meaning that their empathy was stripped of them very young age. Okay? So if they had a narc father, which was, probably abusive, very abusive towards, the spouse, very abusive towards the kids. They had a narc mother. They were either parents emotionally detached. Narcissist parents are emotionally detached. They're physically there. They're physically, they're materialistically providing for their kids. They're physically there for their kids, but they are emotionally detached. And with being emotionally detached, narc parents teach their children how to be this way. They teach their children how to be unempathetic. They teach them how to be selfish. They teach them how to be self-serving, how to be self-seeking. They teach them all of these things. Okay? Children are not born narcissists. It's not like, they were picked out of the bunch, like, oh, narc, 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 codependent, codependent, narc, codependent, narc, no, it doesn't work that way. The way you attach to your parents determines how you attach to other people. And I said this in my, attachment styles video. How you attach to your parents determines how you attached to other people. Because your parents, they're the first people that you see when, or they're the first people you come in contact with when you come into this world. And they're responsible to making sure that you have secure attachment. That's a healthy attachment. Secure attachment, out of all of the attachment styles, is the healthiest attachment. Okay? Which means that there is a balance, an equal balance between emotions, empathy, sympathy, discipline, everything. There's a complete balance with everything. That is secure attachment. Anxious avoidant attachment, those are people who are codependent because their parents were inconsistent. They were here one minute, gone the next. Back and forth, back and forth. Here today, gone tomorrow. Back and forth, back and forth. Maybe the parent abandoned the child and then came back. That creates anxiety. That creates fear of abandonment. So with that, you have codependency. The child becomes a codependent where whenever they come into a relationship with someone, they attach quickly to people. People who show them affection, emotions, what have you, show them a good time. I mean, it could be anything. But when they feel, like the person seems like a nice person, seems like one who is stable, seems like one who's emotionally fit. In this case, this is where a codependent and a narcissist end up in a relationship together, because a narcissist gives the impression that they are emotionally mature. They give the impression that they are stable. They give the impression that they are capable. So a codependent person will attach to that person, especially when a narcissist is love bombing, because they're showing interest. They're showing attention. They're showing affection. They're showing all types of things that a codependent seeks, because what does a codependent seek? They seek validation, okay? They need to feel validated because their parents did not validate them. Their parents stripped them of that. Their parents stripped them of a lot when it came to their identity. So naturally, if my mom and dad stripped me of that, then a narcissist who is love bombing me, who is showing me a great time, who's showing me how special I am, who's showing me how, beautiful I am, whatever the case may be, they're validating me. So I'm attaching to that person. Yanni's normal person with empathy, example, sees a person crying, will go out and ask if everything is okay and how to help that person. A narcissist does see that person or lady crying. He thinks and reacts. When it comes to someone crying, a narcissist looks at them like, you're annoying. Like, God, you're crying again. What are you crying about this time? That's their attitude. Yeah, I mean I'm talking more so because when it boils down to thank you, peaceful. When it boils down to that, narcissists, they listen. That's just something that was passed on to them. That was something that was passed on to them, guys. I don't make, you all know me. You guys already know me. I don't make excuses for anyone, because at the end of the day, we all know, if we're going through the same cycle with different types of people, that there is probably a problem with us. Okay? So if you're dealing with the same type of people in different cycles, there's probably something within us that we have to change in order to change how we perceive, how we discern, how we see situations. Okay? It's the same thing for a narcissist. Okay? The narcissist, listen, guys, the narcissist doesn't see anything wrong with themselves. But you guys, if you guys think that there's something wrong with you, you're going to try to change that, right? You're going to try to say to yourself, I want a healthy relationship. So, what is it about myself that I need to change? Figure it out and work on it. Okay? Work on it. A narcissist is never going to change. They're not going to change. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, they'll probably grow up and they'll probably end up alone because after a while, you know, the tactics, they're getting older, they're not getting any younger. People are not going to be falling for it. People, you know, meantime, you guys have the ability to change everything that's going on within yourselves so you can create that type of healthy, strong, loving relationship with someone. Okay? Don't feel bad for them. Don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for them. Don't feel bad for them. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I mean, I listen, can I empathize? Yeah, maybe, possibly, not really, but you know, it is what it is. You spend all these years being this way. You can't have possibly thought that everything you were doing was okay. You can't. You can't. You cannot have possibly thought that everything you were doing was okay. And then you want to blame it on, well, you know, I'm emotionally detached. That's bullshit. Because if you know what, you were just emotionally detached, you would just screw around town and not commit, not settle down, and not go through all of this trouble to get someone in a certain in your web. And keep in mind, guys, different narcissists have different tactics that they use. They have different ways that they do things, okay? You have so many different classes of narcissists, you know? And the bottom line of it is, if you really put them all in a category, you know, all arrows point to manipulation, detachment. They like, you know what it is? You know what they want? They want the most, but they want to give the bare minimum for it. Okay? They want the most from you, but they want to give the bare minimum. A relationship to a narcissist is, it's like it's for them, it's stripping them of their uniqueness. Okay? They like to be, what's the word for it, guys? I don't want to say they like to be like, you know, just in their own element, but it's like being in a relationship with someone. It's like they don't like to lose that, if they're in a relationship, or let's put it this way, if they're in a relationship, they have to be the ones in the driver's seat. We know that. They have to be the ones in control. So they have to be the ones who say who, what, where, when, why, and how. Okay? We learn that. And we learn that with them is do as I say, not as I do. So I can tell you what to do. I can point out your flaws. I can tell you what I do like, tell you what I don't like. I can do all of these things. I can make you feel like shit. I can make you feel any kind of emotion I see fit. But the minute you do it to me, prepare to deal with my rage. Prepare to deal with my lashings. Prepare to deal with, you know, the dark side of me, because you know narcissists are Jekyll and Hyde. You know, that's like a split personality type of thing. And you have to eat it. You have to sit there and eat it. And it's like people who are secure, non-codependent, okay, they usually spot those red flags. They leave before a discard even comes about. They end up discarding, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them end up discarding a narcissist because they won't deal with that. They won't deal with that. People of secure attachment, a lot of people of secure attachment will not deal with that because they know what healthy is and they know what toxic is. Codependents, on the other hand, will hold on to a narcissist for as long as they possibly can. And unfortunately, with a codependent, a discard is inevitable. It's inevitable. It's like it's gonna happen one way or another. And chances are, codependent with a narcissist, the narc will always be the one discarding the codependent. Because after a while, they just get bored. They get bored with the codependent. They get bored with the, the clinginess. They get bored with the constant, because codependents are just kind of like, it's kind of like that little figure thing in the Lord of the Rings, my precious. That's how a codependent is, because they're so afraid. They're so afraid of abandonment. They're so afraid of being alone. They're so afraid of ending up alone that they will enable and they will allow the abuse to continue. They'll take it in like it's their fault. If the narcissist gets disgustingly angry, the codependent says to themselves, what did I do to make this person mad? What did I do that this person is acting this way? What can I do to fix the problem, to make this person happy? What can I do so that this person is no longer angry with me? I know I have to go above and beyond to give this person, yeah, Jamie, you go above and beyond, and you try to satisfy them. You try to give them everything. You try to make them feel good. You try to, and a narcissist will run with that, and they'll take that and look at you like, oh, look at you. They'll look at you like you're pathetic. My ex looked at me like I was pathetic. He looked at me like I was pathetic. He looked at me like, you know what? I'm crying. I'm sitting there crying. I'm hurt, because listen, guys, I'm not going to sit here and bash him. I'm not shaming him. I'm not, but I'm simply recollecting the events that happened, and these things happened. These things actually happened to me. And it's not about, oh, well, he's a piece of shit and he's this and he's that. No, that's something his other ex would do. She'll sit there and shame him and bash him and make him feel, and you know something, I'm pretty convinced she put him through this shit and he put me through that shit. It's like that. It's like that, what's that endless cycle? Good guy meets bad girl, turns good guy into asshole. Asshole meets good girl, turns good girl into asshole. You know what I'm saying? It's that endless cycle. It's just that endless cycle. And I'm not bashing him. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a nobody, and I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is that he put me through the ringer, and I'm pretty sure she did the same to him. But it happened. It happened. And at the end of the day, it's just all so close to home for me. Everything you guys have experienced, when you guys mention certain things, when you guys tell me certain things about your stories, it sometimes triggers me. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it does. But I get through it. I get through my trigger, because my end game is, my goal is to help you whatever way I can. So, when we think about these things, and it was kind of like what Groove had said earlier, the signs, like the early on signs, when you've gone through narcissistic abuse, when you've gone through the discard, believe it or not, guys, a lot of you probably have gone through it quite a few times. You didn't realize it. You didn't realize it. You've had relationships. They ended badly. They ended, you cried, you hurt. Yeah, you grieved. You went through the motions, but you moved on, right? But there was that one relationship. There was just that one time. That one time that got you really hard, really badly. That was your catalyst moment. That was the moment where you had to wake up. And you know what they say, sometimes God's gonna allow someone that you love the most, or that you feel you love the most, to hurt you, because he needs you to wake up. He needs you to see things for what they are. He needs you to end the generational curses, guys. Codependency, narcissism, they're generational curses. That's what they are. These are traumas that are passed down through generation. And it's going to continuously be passed down unless you break the cycle. And I thought about my son. I had to break the cycle. I had to do it. I really had to do it. And I went from being afraid to be alone, afraid that I lost the man of my dreams. Yeah. Yeah. And you know something, Andre, I'm gonna tell you something. It's okay. I recently put up a post on my Instagram. It was a picture, but I put up a post and I said, sometimes people are gonna break you, but that's okay, because all it means is that you now have to put yourself back together again, so that you're to make yourself unbreakable. Okay, now you learned. Now you can see the red flags. Now you can see, you can basically just decipher certain things. Now you can, your bullshit-o-meter is up there, and you're not taking anyone's bull crap anymore. After you've been dealing with someone who is whether they're a narcissist, whether they're just an abuser, a manipulator, what have you, after dealing with someone like that, you just tend to kind of open your eyes more. You really do. And this is why I tell people to properly heal. Heal yourselves. Heal. I don't care how long it takes. Heal yourselves, guys, because if you don't heal yourself and you go out there into the world and you think you're ready to start dating and you think you're ready to start doing all of these things, what you're going to end up doing, you're going to have that residual energy, that residual trauma, and you're going to pass that on to someone else. And that person is going to end up being in the same position as you, looking at these videos, wondering, what the hell did I just go through? Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Heal. Important to heal. Butch, oh my God, this is so true. Plus laziness, never willing to work hard to achieve any life goals, always searching for the easy way. For years, always left me thinking if they all change. 16 and a half. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, it's important that, again, guys, you went through it. You get through the motions, get through, whatever it is you have to get through, go through it. Go through it. Guys, you're not going to be able to, you can't go around it. You can't go over it. You have to go through it. And once you're done and you go through all of the, whatever steps you need to go through, then at least you know that you're on your way to start a healthy relationship. You're on your way to be in a healthy dynamic. Or if you choose to be alone, then be alone. Nothing wrong with that either. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. So either way you look at it, healthy relationship or just being healthy, healthily single, that's fine too. Nothing wrong with it. But as long as you heal, because you don't want to pass that on to someone else and end up hurting someone the way your abuser hurts you. That's the key thing that you guys got to remember. Just keep that in mind, guys, if you guys decide to get into relationships. 6 years of abuse. I gave him his ring back. Healing slowly, taking my time. No contact, 14 months. That's it. Keep going. And guys, there is no time frame on healing. There really isn't. I've been, what am I, 2.5? I think I'm 2.5 years. This happened in September, about 2 years ago. We're in December, right? 2 years and 3 months. Well, September, October. Yeah. So it's like 2 years and a couple of months. And I'm still healing. I'm still healing from it, guys. And it's not something that you just get over overnight. It really isn't. You felt love. You felt love. It felt real, and it felt like, but this is what happens when, unfortunately, when you're trying to save people that don't want to be saved. Because a narcissist, narcissistic people, psychopaths, sociopaths, you name it, they don't want to be saved. Yeah. Andrea, it's yeah, so it's about 2 years, and I'm still working on it. I'm still working on my healing. I'm still working. And something, at the same time while I'm healing, believe it or not, talking with you guys and being around you guys and interacting with you guys, it helps my healing so much. Like, you guys don't know how much you really have such a healing effect. You all have such a healing effect when it comes to doing this content. Jamie says, I'm glad for this content. I'm glad for content like this. Who knows how depressed I'd be without all the knowledge I've gained now. It's even helping me recover faster. Last discard was last week, so doing well. Oh, Andrea, thank you, sweetheart. And God bless you too. Jamie, you know what? And I'm glad. I'm glad I'm able to do this at least once a week with you guys. And, you know, in placement, I like to do the short videos for you guys just to kind of give you guys, you know, little reminders. And of course, let you know that I'm still here. And to let you guys know that, you know, if you need someone to talk to, because sometimes, yeah, you have friends, you have family, but some people might not understand. Some people might just, you know, because when you've endured narcissistic abuse, it's not just a one-time conversation. It's not. It's not just a, you know, okay, let me talk about it one time and then that's it. It's over and done with. This is kind of like group therapy, guys. That's exactly what this is. Group therapy, you know? You're talking about it. You're talking about it. You're opening up about it. And it's a lot better. No, Andrea, a lot of people don't understand that type of abuse. A lot of them don't. They look at it as, you know, it's because it wasn't seen by the naked eye. So because people could not see it, it wasn't scars on your face and scars all over your body. They don't see it. So why do you continue talking about it? Okay, it happened. Get over it. Move on. This person already, you know, moved on. They'll never understand it if they've never experienced it. Oh, I'm so happy, Yanni. I'm happy and I'm glad. And you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I love meeting with you guys every week. And I love coming here to talk with you guys about different things. It like I said, it's healing for each of us, you know? So like, I'm healing. Y'all are healing. We're having a healing party, you know? And I told you guys, you all have my email. You have my contact information. You want to reach out to me, reach out to me. I have no problem. As you guys know, I am, you know, working on this book. If you want to talk about your story, if you want to put your story in it, hey, you're giving me material, you know, and it can help other people. It can help a lot of other people who are going through it. It's a survivor chronicle. It's just, you know, it's like a volume. I already have the first volume, has 5 stories. I already have 2 completed. I'm working on my 3rd one, and then I have 2 more that 2 other survivors have agreed to you know, have agreed to write their story. But if you want to do so, please, by all means, send it in. I'll be more than glad to read it, and I'll be more than glad to, you know, to publish it. Anybody may need to hear it. I mean, listen, look at how far we've come. All right. And I don't know about you guys, but I've had to do a lot of this on my own. And it's not easy. It's not easy doing it on your own. So if you want to give your story, absolutely. You're helping other people. You're helping other people get through it. Andrea, thank you. I'm almost done. The first story is on Wattpad. The name of this story is called Jasmine. That was my very first story that I started writing during the beginning of the pandemic when we had to go into quarantine. And I have gotten a lot of people who have read it, and it's like six chapters. A lot of people read it, and they've actually, you know, they've actually gotten, you know, I've gotten some very positive feedback. Like they said that, you know, it gave them a healing effect. They thought it would trigger them, but it didn't. And just so you guys know, I'm very descriptive in my stories. And by that I mean that it is no holds bar, okay? Which means that it is not PG-13. These stories are not PG-13. These stories are very extremely rated R, which we're talking about sexual content and we're talking about vulgar language. So just so you understand that. Fritz, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you joined, and I'm glad you were able to sit in and, hopefully if you need any help with anything, or you can go like along the timeline of my videos. That there are so many of them. I spent a lot of time doing videos, especially during the quarantine, but if any of them help you, I'd be more than glad to, take your feedback. So definitely leave me some feedback. Andrea, it does help to hear other victim stories. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in some cases it might trigger, but you know what? A trigger is pretty much a part of you that still needs to heal. So at least this is triggering me. Gotta get on it. Gotta start healing that. Get your popcorn and drinks when reading. Yeah, Jasmine is it hits close to home. It's not my own personal story per se. But it's just very close to home for me. It's very close to home. And I'm gonna put the link under the stream of the live stream if you guys want to read it. You can read it for free. It's on Wattpad. That's the first story I ever published. You can read it for free. It's 6 chapters. It's not crazy long, and it's interesting from beginning, middle to end. So you won't get bored. A friend of mine that I sent it to read it, and she was so into the story that she's like, I was so into the story, I actually made it late to work. Like I almost forgot I had to go to work, and I'm like, I can't be responsible for that, guys. Fritz, I'm glad. I'm glad. That's awesome. Very awesome. Yeah, if you Andre, if you see the cover of the book, because each story, each survivor gets a personal cover to their story. I've already did the first three, which would be, the Jasmine. The next story after that is Alex, and this story that I'm working on is Jacob. So it would basically just say it's each, like the name. That was it's called Web of Lives Chronicle, a Survivor Chronicle, and each story has each person has their own personal story. So it's not like it's, just, but the interesting thing about it is, this is the twist to my stories, guys. Each person in each story, okay, because it's a big web, are connected in one way, shape, or form. So some people from Jasmine's story may show up in Alex's story. Some people in Alex's story may show up in Jacob's story. Jasmine's story may also show up in Jacob's. So you understand? So different people are showing up in different stories. And it's just basically, it's a web of lives. It's a way to kind of show how we are all connected in one way, shape, or form. We don't know each other all personally. We didn't know each other personally before I started this content. And look at here we are now. We know each other and we're supporting each other. That's the key thing. Being a guy, I felt so stupid when I finally realized it. I have a 13-year story. Fritz, if you want to give your story, there are plenty of men who have gone through it and to they need to know that they're not alone. I think that's one of the biggest things, the biggest problems when it comes to narcissistic abuse, when it comes to abuse in relationships. Men get abused too, guys. Yes, you do, and we acknowledge that. I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that you men get abused, and I acknowledge that there are female. This is, like I said, why I talk about female narcissists a lot, because their kind of abuse is worse. It's worse. And it's like, I mean, listen, you guys, yeah, you guys can get loud. You guys can be overt. You guys can be a-holes sometimes because, listen, it is what it is. But when you're dealing with a female narcissist who is a master manipulator, Fritz, if you want to give your story, I encourage it. I encourage it because I need more male stories too. I actually need more male stories. Like this story, Jacob, that I'm working on, is a story from, like, it's like at the top of my head. Like, it's a character, but I am putting relatable details within that story. I've known men that have been narc abused, Andrea, yes. Yes. And if I could, and if I had to say so, I would say that my ex is also a victim of narcissistic abuse. And he internalized that abuse, and he resonates with the abuser. So he may not be a narcissist, but he is narcissistic. He internalized the abuse that he received, which is narcissistic abuse, and he pretty much looked through the eyes of the abuser. He was a victim, but because he did not heal, because he did not go through the necessary steps to heal, because he would not let go of his past, because, like I've explained to you guys, his ex is a narcissist. Clearly, she definitely is a narcissist. And of course, she's been in his life for many years, and she's managed to utilize manipulation on him in creating that trauma bond. He had her in his life for so many years, and of course, that dynamics with his mom, that's a whole nother life. But he basically resonates more with the abuser. So he resonates more with the lashings and the yelling and the abuse. I obviously resonated more with the victim because I was the codependent. I was trying my best to stick a fork in a toaster and try to fix it. Let's put it that way, guys. Okay? So guys, I love being on the chat with you guys. I love spending hours talking to you guys. I gotta just put this battery in this charger in. This is probably gonna pull. This is gonna make my phone crooked because the charger is a little too. Let me see if I can. I can't do it. I'm trying to put the phone to charge, but all right, guys. I guess that's just my cue for tonight. Definitely send me your stories, guys. Okay, I'm gonna put the email in the description box below, so if anybody is interested, you can send me. If you are interested in sending your story, what I need is, of course, besides the list of events, I need a timeline, and the timeline is basically from like beginning, middle, and end, so I know how to properly format the story for you. Okay, you would get your own cover, your own personalized cover. If you want to use your real name, let me know. If you don't want to use your real name, that's perfectly fine too. I can always make up a name for you. And I just need certain information to be able to properly format the story for you guys. If you're interested in doing it, then definitely shoot me that email. Definitely reach out to me and I will be more than glad. Jamie, you're very welcome. Alicia, oh, I appreciate all of you guys. I do. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you bearing with me, especially taking over my son's room. And oh guys, I have a little surprise. We're gonna do it next week though. We'll do it next week. But I'm gonna show you guys a little something. And guys, it's awesome. It's always awesome being here with you guys. It's always awesome talking with you guys. And I'm going to keep up with the short videos for you guys too, because I know, I do it when I'm waiting for my train. So I'm like, F it, let me just do a quick video for them, so they can, see me pop my head in and let them know that I'm still here. And, I still got their backs. I still got your backs, guys, always. Andrea, thank you so much, Erica, for your knowledge and helps us heal and understand the. Thank you. Thank you guys. Your support, you're sharing the videos, you're liking the videos, you're commenting on them. It just shows me that, I'm doing something right. I may not know how to hold a relationship down, but at least I know how to help people out, right? And it lets me know that I'm getting through to people. I started this channel a year ago and I was like lucky if I even had like 3 or 4 views. And now, I'm getting, you know, within a day, like, you know, 100 views, you know, almost 200. So it's to me, it's like, that's an accomplishment. It really is. And again, it's really more about who I'm reaching out to, not how many people I'm reaching out to. Okay? Because you don't need everybody. I just did this post today too. You don't need everyone in your corner. Just the people that matter. That's it. That's all that matters, guys. All right? So guys, I think we're just gonna have to like, the lives are gonna be like almost 2 hours, so we might as well just, you know, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it for you guys. It really, really is worth it. Whatever we didn't talk about today, we will talk about next week. Next week I'm gonna make the notes so we could just go down the line. And again, send me those stories. I definitely am interested in publishing them. Little Miss Sunshine, I can't believe I just came across your channel. 2.5 years, no contact so far in my healing. Stay encouraged. You can do it. Yes. Yes. And you know what? It's because of the support. You know, it definitely, you know, people do need the support. People try to go it alone. It's hard, guys. It's not impossible, but it's extremely hard. And if you have a support system, if you don't, you do now. If you're new, anybody who wasn't able to join the live, but they're gonna, you know, see it on the stream, you have people here. Everybody's here. Everybody talks, no judgment. Everybody supports one another. That's the key thing. That's the goal. That's the key thing. That's how I want to keep it. And of course, you know, showing love, everybody showing love to one another. That makes me, I get emotional, guys. I get really, really emotional. But guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for being here. You guys really make this all worthwhile. You have no idea. You really don't. And I am just so appreciative of you. I really, really, truly am. And I do hope that you know, we had some more breakthroughs. We had some more breakthroughs today, and we're gonna have more from the, you know, throughout the week, and more next week, and so forth and so on, until we're fully healed. And you guys, you know, hit me up telling me I'm in a healthy relationship, I'm happy, I'm secure, I love myself, and I've never been happier, because that's what I want to hear. All right. So guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Have a great night, Alicia. Yes. Have a great night, my love. I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I gotta try to get some sleep because we got a storm coming in tomorrow, so we gotta try to figure out how it's gonna go. But thank you again, guys, for joining me. Please be sure to hit the like button before you leave. Much appreciated. And of course, anybody who's new, go through the videos, check them out. If you need help with anything, please leave a comment in the comment section. If you want to add anything, leave a comment in the comment section. I'm all for feedback. You guys are truly, truly awesome, and I appreciate you all. So guys, have a great night. Stay blessed. If you are in the area, or if you are where this storm is going to hit, please stay safe. Okay, stay very safe, stay healthy, and as always, guys, love you all. Mwah. Namaste, guys. Have a great night. I'll see you guys next week, same time. Bye.